and welcome back to the final race of Season 2 for Race 8 at Suzuka. It's promising to be an absolutely cracking race, and Mandalorian and Lex, they're up for the title fight. Mandalorian leads the way with 6 points over Lex, so Lex needs to win the race and Mandalorian needs to have a really shocking race and finish down in P7 if Lex is to fight for the title. So let's have a look at qualifying. Mitch took pole position, AFC Guna P2, Mandalorian up in P3, Lex P4, Flapjack P5, Sean P6, RJ Cool P7, Steve F1 P8, Tyrone P9, Stephen P10, GBM Allman P11, Diesel P12, Jippo9 P13, JC P13, and Jules rounds out the back in P15. Now to hand over to myself, James Shaw, and the one and only Justin Dix. Ah, fucking hell, I can't believe it. Here we are for the final race of Retro Racing Season 2. Oh, Mitch gets off the line perfectly there. Brilliant start. AFC Guna also got a brilliant start there, Jim. Yeah, looks like AFC Guna got a fantastic start. He's up the inside of Mitch. Mitch turns in. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Mitch runs wide. I think Mitch probably turned in a bit too tight, and AFC Guna turned in a touch too late. Mitch, I think he's spinning round in the background, and that is an awful start for Mitch. I'm sure we're going to have a little look at that in a replay. I don't think it was, well, from first sight, it did not look intentional contact, but I'm sure the stewards will be looking into it as Flapjack now is all over the back of Lex, and that is the battle for P3. He's run wide as Flapjack. RJ Cool on the side of Flapjack, and RJ Cool makes his way through. Brilliant move there from the Benetton boy in P4 now. Flapjack down to P5, so AFC Guna leads the way. Mandalorian P2. Lex is the title fighter there in P3, but Flapjack on the fight back now on RJ Cool round the outside. Can he make this move here, Justin? Ah, fucking hell. Oh, brilliant move there from Flapjack. All the way, Steve F1 in the background. Almost gets a bit of a tank slapper there on the exit. But AFC Guna absolutely flying. He's got a lovely, lovely lead. And he's absolutely pulling away with this one. Mandalorian P2 and Lex right behind him in the other McLaren in P3. So there we go. Mandalorian, can he win the title today? We will find out. Lex will want to get himself in front of Mandalorian there if he wants to take the fight to him. But here we go, towards 130R, the best corner on this circuit in my opinion. Absolutely flat out left-hander in these cars, absolutely. Flapjack absolutely shoves it up the inside of Lex. Absolutely caught Lex napping there, as I was almost cut napping as well. I cannot believe how far back Flapjack was there to absolutely try that, but he did it and he's up to P3 now, Jack. Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. But Lex in the title fight, he will not be thinking that's fantastic, as we've seen a replay here. Yeah, there you can see Mitch turns in, and AFC Guna, yeah, he goes for the corner as well. I am not too sure what the stewards are going to say about that one. Yeah, on the ins, this is the view from Mandalorian looking backwards. It did not look intentional. Let's have a look now on the wheel there. AFC Guna doesn't actually do anything wrong on the steering wheel, so yeah, the stewards have said that was a racing incident. Looked a little bit suspect, but yeah, Mitch will be foaming with that decision. But yeah, the stewards have said that Allman did, sorry, AFC Guna did absolutely nothing wrong there, and yeah, Mitch just turned in a touch too early. I think that's what the stewards are saying, but yeah, it could definitely be a talking point in the comments below. But here we go, we're on board with Flapjack in P3, and he's right behind Mandalorian. He's really wanting to get on with this one. Mandalorian absolutely covers off the inside of Spoon as they're running through the far end of the circuit as they head back towards the start-finish line. But yeah, Flapjack very, very close now behind Mandalorian here, Justin. Ah, fucking hell, we need to try and go for the crazy move up the inside of 130R. I think he's a touch too far back, but Mandalorian really closing in now as well on the back of AFC Guna for the lead of the race. Mandalorian goes to the racing line. AFC Guna covers it off. Flapjack is just waiting in anticipation, waiting for one of these two to make a mistake. Here we go, out of the final corner, run down towards turn 1. Mandalorian in the slipstream. Can he try and make a move? But Flapjack got a hell of a lot of pace. He's going up the inside by 3 wide on the run down towards turn 1. This will be crazy. On the braking, Flapjack. Oh, he goes around the outside. Oh, up the inside of the pair of them. Absolutely brilliant move there from Flapjack. AFC Guna is almost shit himself. Mandalorian thought he got the move done, but oh, Flapjack, what an amazing move there from Flapjack. Absolutely crazy, Jam. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that was absolutely mental. There is the view from on board with Mandalorian. Flapjack absolutely flew up the inside. AFC Guna didn't know what was going on there. I think he thought he was just defending from Mandalorian, and then he turns in and flapjacks there. So, oh no, AFC Guna's run wide. He's run into the kitty litter, and that is disaster for AFC Guna. And yeah, once again, another one bites the dust for AFC Guna. He will be foaming because he's definitely been up there with the pace. Now he's at the back of the field, and he's going to have to really do something impressive to get back in this battle, as Steve F1 and Diesel are still fighting tooth and nail on the exit of the hairpin as they head towards Spoon. There is Diesel. He's took over the Williams seat and he's absolutely loving it. He says he's told me that he's the best seat he's ever sat in, and yeah, he's absolutely loving it. But there he is. He's running through Spoon, and he's all over the back of Steve F1. Meanwhile, back up at the front here, Justin, it looks like Mandalorian is not letting Flapjack pull away with this one. Fucking hell, but here we go. Lex under pressure from Tyrone in P4. Tyrone trying to make a move on Lex, but Lex just enough in front there to run through the final chicane. And yeah, Tyrone definitely improved throughout this season. But Flapjack trying to break the slipstream, but Mandalorian very, very close as they run down towards turn 1. But Flapjack just got enough speed to keep in front as they run in towards turn 1. There is Lex in P3. Keeps in front of Tyrone as they run through turn 1. And yeah, this has been an absolutely amazing championship as RJ Cool, another absolutely brilliant driver. He's absolutely shown this season, along with Tyrone, that they are absolutely formidable drivers and not to be taken lightly, as Tyrone all over the back of Lex there. He's almost stuck to the back of him. But they run through up over the hill as they run towards the Degners. I always get confused with the corners at Monza. The Lesmos, as I call them, the Lesos. But here in Suzuka they're called the Degners, and there's nothing quite, you know, that rhymes with Degner. So there's nothing I can really say that's as funny as Leso. But here we go. Back up at the front, there is Mandalorian still hanging on to the back of Flapjack. And I think he can smell the Flapjack. I think he's thinking, God, I wish I had some of that in my mouth. Oh yeah, I'd love to chew on a bit of Flapjack right now. He's all over the back of him. He will not let him go because he can smell. He can absolutely smell the aroma of the Flapjack, and he will not let it go. I think that's what Mandalorian needs. But yeah, here we go. There is Flapjack on the back of Steve F1. He's dropped away from Tyrone now all over the back of Alex. Can he try and make a move here towards the final chicane? Here we go. Is this going to be a Prost Senna or the Tyrone Lex? Here we go. Oh no, the Tyrone just a touch too far back there. And RJ Cool all over the back of Tyrone here, Jack. Yeah, he's all over the back of him. Are any of these drivers going to jump for an early pit stop? I do not know. But here we go. There is Flapjack. He's still defending from Mandalorian, who's still very, very close for the lead of the race. And if anything, the championship swing towards Lex is looking highly unlikely right now, as Mandalorian is still in second place and is still in the fight for this win, and Lex is sat in third place. So maybe Lex is probably just hoping that Mandalorian makes a massive mistake and falls down the field towards the end of the race, but hoping and praying it's better to really try and put the pressure on and really fight Mandalorian. But Lex has got a fight on. Just looking in his mirrors right now, he's got Tyrone, he's got RJ Cool all over the back of him. Oh no, Tyrone there got a little bit out of shape. Can he hang on to it? Yes, he can, as he runs through Degner 2. Oh, that was so close to disaster there for Tyrone and RJ Cool. But here comes Steve F1 and Diesel. Diesel all over the back of Steve F1 in that lovely Williams, all over the side of the Benetton. Steve F1, oh, here we go as well. We've got Stephen in the red Ferrari. He's also wanting to get on this bit of action. So very, very close action here in the midfield. But yeah, here we go. Can Diesel go for a move? He's looking defensive. Steve F1 turns into Spoon. And yeah, do not tell Mandalorian that there's Spoon and some Flapjack, because he will be tucking right into it. As here we go, we're heading towards 130R, turning in there absolutely flat out as I run towards the final chicane. Mandalorian looks like he's wanting to try and get in on this one, and but yeah, Flapjack just has an answer for him at this moment in time. There is Tyrone. I was about to say Tissot, but that's a sponsor. Here we go, Mandalorian in the pit lane, Justin. Fucking nearly got the brand new tyres. and I think he's going to get out of the pit lane in front of RJ Cool in P3, because Lex is pitting as well. It's a very, very quick pit stop here, only about a 3-second pit lane loss, so absolutely comes out in P2, and can Mandalorian now try and hunt down Flapjack. He's got brand new tyres, he's still in the same position, he's retained the same position, but here comes RJ Cool on very hot tyres, and Mandalorian still getting up the temperature, so RJ Cool can really try and hang on to the back of Mandalorian here, but Mandalorian wanting to try and push Flapjack down the road and try and do the undercut on Flapjack, and there he is, he's running out of the Degners, and here comes Mandalorian turning into the Degners, so running up towards the hairpin. Mandalorian, and let's count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Mandalorian only 5 seconds behind now, Jack. Well, that was absolutely brilliant counting there, Justin. To say English is your second language, you're doing a spot on job, and to say that you can count, Jesus Christ, mate, you need a promotion. Ah, fucking hell, tell me about it. I told them I'm bloody good at maths, and I'm bloody good at speaking English as well, but here we go. There is Tara, no, sorry, it's Stephen. I might be clever, but I'm not that clever. I went for accent removal classes, if you can believe that, Jim. You're absolutely, you won't believe it. But here we go, there's Flapjack running towards the final chicane. Can he get this all slowed down? Yes, he can. Oh, a little bit of a corner cut there, but oh, here comes Mandalorian corner cutting a slight little bit. And I'm pretty sure they'll have to watch that, because I'm pretty sure if they turn in there and they do some corner cutting, there may be the stewards looking into that if they keep continuing to do it like 3 times in a row. But here we go, there is Stephen in the Ferrari on the back of Steve F1, and this is where it gets complicated, where they got the 2 Steves fighting it out there, a red Steve and a yellow Steve. But Steve F1, he's got the F1 at the end, and Stephen, he's got a PH in his Stephen. But here we go, there we go, there's Flapjack in the lead of the race. He's still got a healthy gap, but that gap's coming down right now. It was 5 seconds, it looks about 3 right now, but there is Stephen on the back of Steve, as I said, and Lex, he's pitted and he's come out in P6. Oh, Lex, oh my god, that was one hell of a corner cut. That definitely will be looked at by the stewards, because that was crazy, the amount of corner he cut there. But here we go, running towards the hairpin, all over the back of the 2 Stevens. Can he try and get a really good exit in? The two Stevens side by side. Here we go, Stephen on the inside, Steve on the outside, as they run towards Spoon. And here we go, the Benetton Steve. Oh, he's running on the racing line. Oh, Lex nearly runs in the back of him, and Stephen just gets in front there in the Ferrari there. So Stephen now up to P4. And Lex all over the back of Steve F1. He pulls out of the slipstream, but Steve F1, he's getting slipstream from Steven. So, oh my god, I'm absolutely losing it with all these Stevens. And Tyrone's getting in there as well, Jeff. Yeah, here we go. It's Tyrone up the inside of Lex. So Lex trying to find the back of Steve F1, and he's once again been caught napping there by Tyrone. He's just shoved it up the inside as the race leader. He's in the pit lane. There is Mandalorian in P2, and I think Mandalorian has took the lead of the race as Flapjack just exits now, and he's going to come out. Is Flapjack in P3? And he's lucky there that a couple of drivers did go into the pit lane, and RJ Cool now is in between Mandalorian and Flapjack. So RJ Cool has not pitted yet, so expect Flapjack to be absolutely past him like a rat up a drain pipe, as I try and get my words out there. Here we go, running through the S's section and running up towards the Degners as they run over the hill. RJ Cool there just running a little bit defensive towards the Degners, and oh, here we go. Yeah, this is absolutely so close. Cannot make one mistake. Flapjack pushing the limits there on the inside of the curb, but we're running towards the hairpin. Is RJ Cool leaving the door wide open here for Flapjack? Can Flapjack get a good exit? Yes, he can. Brand new rubber, and there you can see why the brand new tyres are absolutely essential around here, because the traction zones, that is where it pays dividends. We're seeing now a replay of Tyrone on the side of Steve F1. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Steve F1 had to slam on the brakes to avoid contact, and yeah, Tyrone up in front of Steve F1, and this is a replay. This is Sean. He's kind of nerfed Diesel off there, and the stewards have said that's a -1 point penalty for nerfing Diesel off there, but we're back live now. This is Lex back up the inside of Tyrone towards 130R. Absolutely lovely driving. There's a run still side by side towards the final chicane, and Lex turns in there. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Sean will be a little bit aggrieved at that one, getting a -1 point penalty, but he did slightly force Diesel off the road to get his way through. Could have just done with leaving an extra metre to provide Diesel with enough room there. But here we go, side by side once again, Lex and Tyrone. Lex manages to hang on to the position as he runs in towards turn 1 here, Justin. Fucking hell, here we go. So absolutely nose to tail battling all the way through the field and right up at the front. But this is on board with Flapjack in P2, all over the back of Mandalorian. Mandalorian fighting for the title, and also he's fighting for this race win. Can he try? He's done the undercut. He's got in front of Flapjack, but oh no, here we go. Run towards Digna 1. Flapjack goes up the inside. That's crazy. Took a lot of curb, but he's managed to get in front of Mandalorian. But Mandalorian trying to fight back. Here we go, side by side towards the hairpin. And braking, turn in. Mandalorian slightly in front, but is Flapjack going to get it up there with the fresher tyres? Yes, he is. He's come out on top. But here we go. It's still side by side. There's a run towards Spoon. These two absolutely going hell for leather here, Jab. Yep, this is absolutely brilliant, Justin. It's a run towards the Spoon corner. Flapjack turns in. Mandalorian on the inside, but Flapjack has got the move made now. So, yeah, Mandalorian back down to P2. Flapjack on the fresher tyres has managed to get himself back into the lead of this race. As meanwhile, further back, RJ Cool just nerfing his way through past Tyrone, but Tyrone just managed to hang on to that as he ran the car on the curb there. And yeah, Lex still in P3. He's had to really fight tooth and nail to hang on to P3 as Stephen is trying to defend here from Sean in that 7-up Jordan as the run through the final chicane. And Steve F1 is down into P8. Diesel down in P9 after getting nerfed off on the previous lap. So here we go. Flapjack in the lead of the race. There is Lex. He's coming under pressure now from RJ Cool here, Justin. Fucking hell, here we go. So RJ Cool trying to get up the inside, but Lex turns in as if to say, nah, mate, there's no way through. You can try it, but you want to try it a little bit harder than that because you're not getting your way through. But here we go. So running through the SS section, I like to call it the Sammy Snake section because it's left, right, and oh, it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely scrubs the tyres. You can see a build-up of the marbles there on the outside. But here we go, RJ Cool up the inside. Now Lex turns in. RJ Cool goes, cuts the corner to avoid contact there. But here we go, up towards the hairpin. Is RJ Cool close enough here? Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I think Stephen's very, very close to the back of Tyrone as well. Stephen gets in there, brakes very late, but manages not to hit the side of Tyrone as he's running side by side now. And here comes Stephen on the fight back. Is Tyrone? There he is, side by side now as the run up the fast left, the fast right-hander towards Spoon. And RJ Cool, once again, he's going to have to think how on earth he's going to try and get himself in front of Lex. And yeah, I think the championship is slipping away for Lex unless Mandalorian makes a massive mistake. But this is one hell of a battle behind Lex. He's doing very, very well to keep all these cars behind him because they're all queuing up to try and make a move on Lex. But he's doing his damnedest to keep them behind. But here we go, RJ Cool. Oh, Stephen up the inside of Tyrone. No, Tyrone turns in as if to say, you're not coming through, sunshine. Mandalorian back in the pit lane for a fresh set of tyres. Lex follows him in to try and cover off that strategy as RJ Cool runs down towards turn 1. I think we're going to see, yeah, Mandalorian is a dot. He's just heading out of the pit lane, so Mandalorian manages to hang on to P2. So Mandalorian burning through his tyres, but he's managing to hang on to the position. There is Flapjack in the lead of the race, but I think he's definitely showing that he's really able to look after his tyres and he's starting to pull a gap now. And the gap is currently out at over 10 seconds now between P1 and P2. Then we've got a little bit of a gap back to RJ Cool in P3, and then we're into this midfield battle with Stephen and Steve F1 for the battle from P5 and 6. There is Lex after his pit stop in P7, and there is Diesel in P8. So Lex, can he try after that pit stop to try and fight back once again? I think the stewards are definitely going to have a little look at that. Lex taking way too much corner on the first Degner there. I'm pretty sure, yep, there we can see there's a warning on screen for Lex for corner cutting, so I'm pretty sure if we see him do that again, may have a penalty in the form of a -1 point penalty for corner cutting. But here we go, there is Stephen all over the back of Tyrone, up towards Spoon. Can he try and make a move here on the inside? He's got ever so slightly fresher tyres to Tyrone. And on the exit, can he get a good run here? Here comes Steve F1 as well. I think if Stephen doesn't make a move soon, here comes Steve F1. Yes, side by side, but I think Stephen is going to get the slipstream from Tyrone in front. And yeah, there we go. Steve F1 has to back out of it before 130R as the run towards the final chicane here adjusting. Fucking hell, here we go. So Stephen and Steve F1, really, this is a race-long battle between these two as Tyrone heads into the pit line, and he's fed up with them two sniffing around his rear end. But there's a bit of a gap now before I've got to say, RJ Cool very, very close to the back of Mandalorian. Mandalorian not making the best of these tyres, as RJ Cool is quite close to the back of Mandalorian, and Mandalorian's on fresher grip, but he's really dropping off the pace now. The gap is out to 12 seconds now, so Flapjack got 2 more seconds in his pocket. The Mandalorian's fallen back into the clutches of RJ Cool, so RJ Cool, his strategy could be working very well right now. Looks like Mandalorian is slightly struggling on this set of tyres. I believe he's still going for a set of softs, but I could be wrong, as he's running through the Degners, and we're on board with RJ Cool now as they run up towards the hairpin. RJ Cool got a slightly better lap time there than his previous go round. He's currently on a 42.7. So the low 40s, that's the race leading pace. So looks like RJ Cool's just about a second off that. There is Stephen, he's running in the 44s, 43s there for Steve F1. So they're losing about 2 seconds per lap to Flapjack. So Flapjack really starting to pull a gap now. Flapjack just running through 130R. And here we go, there is Sean in the 7-Up Jordan, and there is Diesel running down in P9 in the Williams. So running on to the back straight. Oh, a little bit of a corner cut there for Flapjack. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and Flapjack getting a warning there for corner cutting for Flapjack. So he's going to have to watch out for that. So here we go, there's Mandalorian in P2. Still got RJ Cool all over the back of him. And I think he's definitely wanting to try and break away, but RJ Cool will just not let him go. And here we go, the 2 Stevens absolutely still going hell for leather around here. And Steven currently in the Ferrari in front of Steve F1 in the Benetton, and running through the SS section. This is the place where you can try and get somebody out of shape, but it's definitely one of the hardest circuits to overtake, because one slight little error and you can really nudge someone off, and it could end in an absolute disaster. So there's limited positions to try and make a move, but here we go, we're on board with RJ Cool. Mandalorian in the race lead, he's in P2, fighting for the race lead, but he's really dropping back now from Flapjack. So this is a crucial point in the race where I think Mandalorian's realising this is not the race win is definitely out of the question here, Jack. Yeah, I think you could be right there, as Flapjack is definitely hanging on to a 12-second gap at this moment in time, so it's looking very, very comfortable right now for Flapjack for that race win. Mandalorian, he will easily win the title with Lex currently sat down in P6. We're currently on board with Lex. Mandalorian's title rival is running behind both Stevens, who are still fighting out tooth and nail. So Lex needs to try and make his way past these two as quick as he can before Tyrone also joins the party there in the Sauber. He's the 4th car in this pack, and Steven runs slightly wide there. Probably, yeah, if he'd run slightly wider than that, that could have ended up in absolute disaster there. But luckily, hanged on to the position as the run through, and Steve F1 is into the pit lane right now. And there is Sean. So here we go, Steve F1 in the Benetton changing his tyres. He wants to get in front and do the undercut on Steven. There is Flapjack in the race lead, and yet that gap has grown now to 12 seconds. Grown to 13 seconds, so he's pulled an extra second out of Mandalorian. So yeah, that race when he's looking definitely in the pocket right now for Flapjack, and he's running through Degner 1. There we go, there is Degner 2, there is Mandalorian, 13 seconds behind Flapjack currently, and his lap times are looking very poor, 44.3. He's only pitted on lap 12, and yeah, it's just not looking very good right now. There he is, and there is RJ Cool in P3. So I'm wondering what is going through these drivers' minds. Lex has still not found his way past Stephen in the Ferrari, but Tyrone is closing in. This could be the opportunity though. Lex on the acceleration. Can he try and make his move here on Stephen on the outside, which will become the inside for the sprint curve here, Justin? Fucking hell, here we go. He needs to put his balls on the table, not run wide, and just run the inside of the spoon. But Stephen runs around the outside, carries the speed, and it's crucial that the Lex gets right in their slipstream and goes up the inside towards 130R. He's already making the move here. He's got a lovely exit there on the corner, and he's in front before 130R, so now he's going to have to get defensive towards the final chicane before Stephen shoves it up the inside, but no, doesn't need to. He's confident enough to hang on to that. And Mandalorian from P2, he's into the pit lane. Lex in the... oh no, he's carrying on, so he's carrying on. Stephen into the pit lane, so Mandalorian, and Mandalorian's come out to the pit lane in P3, so Mandalorian right now, I definitely don't think that he's going to be fighting this out. I think he's fighting RJ Cool for a P2 in this race, AJ. Yeah, I definitely think he's trying to do the undercut here on RJ Cool and steal a match on him, as Flapjack has got himself in front of the back marker there in the Saubers. He runs through the Degnas once again. And Mandalorian, actually, we're hearing that Mandalorian just done the fastest first sector of the race so far, so this could be a bit of a charge back here, as he was just running slightly in front of RJ Cool at the end of the previous lap, and he's already beginning to close in. So there we see Mandalorian's, he's not completed his second sector as of yet, but RJ Cool was running a 1:44, so that's not an impressive lap time, as RJ Cool is really stretching them tyres out, and there is his teammate Steve F1 currently sat in P6, so there is the race leader. Let's just see what lap time he does. Yeah, but there we see Mandalorian second sector. He's just about to come up to the second sector right now. He's very, very rapidly closing back in on RJ Cool, so I think by the end of this lap he may have just completely negated his lap time. And yeah, it's just come in. It's done the fastest second sector as Mandalorian, so yeah, he's all over the back now of RJ Cool. So in the space of one lap, he's pretty much negated that entire pit stop, because he were almost on the back of RJ Cool as he pitted. So that was an absolute... oh, look at that, 140 there. And yeah, even the race leader, Flapjack's done a 144. So Mandalorian, in the space of one lap there, just took 4 seconds out of that race lead. So that's down to 8 seconds now. It was out at one point to 13, then it went back to 12, and now it's down to 8 seconds. So Flapjack, I think he's going to have to get a bit of a spurt on if Mandalorian has just picked the pace up and is doing lap times 4 seconds per lap quicker than Flapjack. Here we go, running through the second Degna, and yeah, this is looking very, very impressive indeed. Mandalorian once again fastest first sector. Once again, he beat the previous time round. That looked a bit of an awkward exit there out of the second Degna, but yeah, Flapjack, yeah, he's definitely trying to get a bit of a spurt on, because Mandalorian, that gap, yeah, it's down now to 7 seconds. So Flapjack is really going to have to pull something out of the bag, because yeah, Mandalorian is really, really pushing hard to try and steal a match here on Flapjack. I think he was trying to just to get in front of RJ Cool, but that target's gone, and now the next target is Flapjack. Flapjack's running round 4 seconds per lap slower. Mandalorian could be on him within 2 laps time, but here we go, running out of spoon. And let's have a look at what lap time is Flapjack going to do. It's not looking like a great middle sector, and he's running now through the final chicane. Is he going to go into the pit to try and cover off any undercut? Yes, he is. He's going into the pit lane right now. He knows that he's under pressure, as Mandalorian is really, really pushing hard. Mandalorian heading out of the final corner, and as Flapjack is on his pit exit, and look how close this is. Flapjack coming out of the pit lane, so Mandalorian's just pulled in a full 12-second gap. The gap is now down to probably about 1 second. So yeah, Mandalorian previous lap time was a 1:42. So yeah, 2 seconds per lap off the previous best, but still that is absolutely rapid. Flapjack needs to get his foot down and get them tyres up to temperature before Mandalorian catches him here, Justin. Fucking hell, I can't believe how crazy quick Mandalorian was just then. But there we can see he's so close behind Flapjack. Flapjack gonna have to get a bit of a wriggle on. And but yeah, 151, and Mandalorian 2 laps ago was doing a 140. So even though he did that pit stop, Mandalorian, that's how he's took such a massive gap out of him. Just absolutely crazy speed. And he's still doing absolutely fantastic right now. He's just done another fantastic first sector there. And Flapjack's still not quite put them tyres up to temperature, I don't think. He's not looking like he's flowing the car through the corner. He looks quite conservative there, running through Spoon. But he needs to get his foot down, needs to get them tyres up to temperature, needs to probably do a little bit of weaving, try and get some heat into them tyres, because Mandalorian really closing in now, Jack. Yeah, he is, definitely. Absolutely. This is absolutely mental. So, yeah, once again, another personal best there, half a second quicker than the previous lap round as they run through the final chicane. Very close now is this battle here, Justin. Fucking hell, here we go. Flapjack is going to have to go defensive because Mandalorian, he's all over the back of him as they run down towards turn 1. Flapjack on the running towards the pit lane. Mandalorian so close, he pulls out. Here we go, side by side to run down to also 1. They turn in, both of them, and they both there. Mandalorian takes the lead of the race. It was crazy, Jim, absolutely crazy. Yeah, it was, but that looked very close indeed. I think Mandalorian may get a warning there, because that was very close indeed on the run towards turn 1. Flapjack takes it back around the outside, which will become the inside, and Flapjack regains the lead of the race. I think Mandalorian's wanting to put up a fight, but Flapjack, them tyres are just turning, switching on, getting in that temperature window. But this is absolutely fantastic for the lead of the race here, Justin. Fucking hell. I think Mandalorian, oh no, he's absolutely cocked that one up. But and there you can see RJ Cool and Tyrone still very close behind. But this is a replay on the run in towards turn 1. Mandalorian, that looked quite safe, not a massive turn in. Left a little bit of room, but we'll have to see the onboard with Flapjack. Here we go. So this is the rear view. We need to see the front view. There we go. And Mandalorian turns in. To be fair, it wasn't too bad. But he's got a warning there from the stewards for not fully leaving a full car's width. So Mandalorian receives a warning there from the stewards. But look at this. Look at this. All the way back around the outside. That was absolutely fantastic from Flapjack. Absolutely brilliant driving. Indeed it was. As yeah, JC there in the second Sauber has just pulled off the racing line to allow the guys through. That's probably the worst place that you can let guys through, because you're just going to absolutely keep it. Well, you're just going to be running like on tick over there. And but yeah, at least he's keeping well out of the way of the rest of the drivers. And the one guy that this has brought into the battle now after Mandalorian made that mistake is RJ Cole. And Steve F1 back in the pit lane. He's definitely trying his hardest to get past Steven in this race, but it's just not working. Every time he goes for this undercut, Steven just keeps fighting his way back through. But there is Lex, and he's come through in P5. So that's Steve F1 coming out of the pit lane right behind him. So Lex slightly falling down the order right now, and this championship could be slipping from his fingertips right now, as we're only about 8 minutes away from the end of this race. As Diesel clobbers the curb on the outside but manages to hold it there. That was very lucky indeed, but luckily he had enough car control there to hang on to the position, as his teammate there, Flapjack, is very comfortable right now. And here we go, RJ Cole very close on the back of on the back of Mandalorian here, Justin. Fucking hell. I think Mandalorian's tyres have just gone over the edge, as I just have a sip of tea. Here we go. Just a little bit. Hopefully we get a bit of sponsorship here, because it's a bit of Yorkshire tea. Here we go. Oh my god, I needed that because my throat is getting a little bit sore. But here we go. There is RJ Cool all over the back of Mandalorian, chap. Jesus Christ, mate. You sound like a horse. But here we go, Mandalorian made a bit of a mistake there. RJ Cole side by side now. I think RJ Cole's going to get himself in front. And it looks like the out of the commentary box window, it looks like Mandalorian's pit crew are out there and waiting for with some brand new tyres. So I think Mandalorian will not be fighting this one too hard, as RJ Cole makes his way through there. Lovely move there from RJ Cole as they're running through towards, yeah, Mandalorian heads back into the pit lane and getting some brand new tyres on that McLaren. So here we go. There is Stevens also followed Mandalorian in, so I think Stevens covering him off, and also Lex is as well. But unfortunately, I think Lex is just slightly falling his way down the order right now. And Here we go, there is Sean in the 7-Up Jordan and Diesel trying to fight his way back through. They're in P9 currently in the second Williams. Fucking hell, here we go. Oh, the two Stevens do battle once again. Here we go, side by side. Almost Steven. I think he's come out of the pit line right in front of Steve F1, so that'll be frustrating for Steve F1. But Steven in the Ferrari is, you know, just absolutely been, these two been nose to tail, and I'm going to have to take another sip of tea because I'm absolutely parched here, Jim. Absolutely parched. But, yeah, oh my god, this is so close. So close, Jim. Oh my god, I hope we get that sponsorship money. Fucking hell. Oh my god, here we go, nearly choked. But there is Flapjack running through the spoon. And he's looking so comfortable now. I think that charge from Mandalorian's absolutely gone. And Mandalorian's going to have to set his sights back on the battle for RJ Cool in P2. But he's only got just over 5 minutes to try and catch him. And here we go, there's two Stevens running through spoon. I think Steve F1 will be foaming, absolutely foaming. He needs to try and make a move before the end of the race, otherwise he's... Oh, here we go, this is the point. Here we go, Steve F1 up the inside. He gets in front before 130i, turns in, and I think that might be Steve F1 making his Benetton as wide as he can, trying not to let Steve back through, because that's a lovely move there from Steve F1 as he ran through the final corner here, Jack. Yeah, indeed, and yeah, but Steven, he's in the Ferrari, still very, very close. He could get slipstream, and I think he has done as he run down towards turn 1. No, Steve F1 is just far enough in front as he turns in. Lex still coming under pressure from Tyrone, but he turns in with conviction as well. And this is, yeah, I think right now a little bit of lag there for Lex. Hopefully he doesn't have a disconnection. And there is Flapjack, the race leader. He's absolutely bossed it. He's, well, to be fair, he's bossed the last few races of this season. The second half of the season, Flapjack has absolutely owned it, and he'll definitely be one to watch. But there is Mandalorian running through Degna 2. Steve F1 still not too far behind Mandalorian there, running in P4, and he's finally in front of Steven. There is Lex in P6 with Tyrone all over the back of him, and yeah. We're in the final 4 minutes of this championship. What do you think is going to happen here, Justin? Fucking hell, I think the writing's on the wall right now, unless Mandalorian makes a massive mistake. I think Mandalorian is going to be the champion, but he's fully deserved it. But I think Flapjack will be foaming that he wasn't in the first race, because he could have definitely been up there with Mandalorian, but Mandalorian has been so consistent throughout this championship. And that's what's got him to the title. He won the first race in Brazil, but ever since that he's been in the top 3 for most of the races. He had a few scruffy ones a few races ago, like Spa. Oh my god, Steven got himself in front of Steve F1. We're going to need to see a replay, because oh my god, has he done that? It was, yeah, I thought it was a done deal. I thought Steve F1 had got in front, but here we go, this is a replay. Steven running towards the final chicane, under braking, goes around the outside, leaves room. What a move there from Steven in the Ferrari. That was crazy. Steve F1 will be jumping at the bit, he'll be foaming, be saying, come on man, this Benetton shit. But oh my god, let's hope that Flavio doesn't hear me, because he'll be he'll have me, he'll lynch me. He'll take me out on his yacht and tie a brick to my foot and throw me in, and he'll say, yeah, how shit's my Benetton now? And I'll be saying, look mate, it was just a turn of phrase, man, turn of phrase. But here we go, there's Tyrone on the back of Lex, Jep. Yeah, Tyrone absolutely will not let Lex go. And Lex right now, I think he knows that he's just hanging on to second in the championship. And there is RJ Cole in P2. Can he try and hang on? This will be, yeah, if he finishes in P2, it'll match his best result this season of P2. But RJ Cole has absolutely shone brightly this season. He's definitely got a hell of a lot of skill. Steven's come into his own as well in the second half of this championship. Oh no, he's just hit the wall! Oh, Steven absolutely binned it there. Oh, just give him the commentator's curse. And here comes Lex and Tyrone. Steven will be devastated with that, with only 2 minutes left of this race. But yeah, well and truly give him the commentator's curse there. Ah, fucking hell, but watch out, because here comes Tyrone now. Lex turns in there. That was a bit close for comfort there. I think Lex may get a warning, but Tyrone running on the inside, and here comes Stephen. He needs to watch his mirrors, because here comes Stephen Jam. Yeah, indeed, there's a run down towards turn 1. I think Stephen still may have a touch of damage, which is why he's not very quick in a straight line, and they're running through turn 1. So Lex right now hanging on to P5 right now. So yeah, Mandalorian, if he was to have a massive failure right now, he would have to finish last, and Lex to finish in P5 if Lex was going to try and take the title. But that looks way out of the window right now. But there we go, there is Lex currently running in front of Tyrone. Tyrone is another driver who's really, really impressed. Had a few little incidents early on in the season, but once again, a driver that's really, really impressed throughout this season. And yeah, what do you think about Tyrone?
Well, I think he's great, Jam, but I'm just going to have to take another sip. Oh, no, I can't, because here comes Steven up the inside. He's just, he's absolutely bossed his way through there, Jam. Fucking hell, but here comes Tyrone back on the inside. Look at that. Oh, Tyrone just... how did he do that, Jam?
I don't know, mate, because you were just looking once again like a horse at a horse trough there, drinking your tea. But here we go, through 130 out. Mandalorian all over the back of RJ Cool, but Flapjack carries on for his final lap. But we need to have a look at RJ Cool. Is he still hanging on to P2? Yes, he is, because these two are about to finish the race for them two. Here comes RJ Cool, here comes Mandalorian, very, very close, running over the line. RJ Cool just hangs on to P2, Mandalorian P3. Here comes Steve F1 for P4. Lex comes away with P5 as Steven just snatches his way in front of Tyrone towards the final corner. So yeah, Tyrone P7. Here comes Sean in P8. Diesel comes away in that lovely Williams in P9. And yeah, there is Jules just heading up towards the spoon curve, and I think he's got AFC Guna right behind him. Can Jules take that elusive 10th position? This will be a really good finish for Jules if he can finish in the top 10, but AFC Guna is trying to fight back after that really, really early on mistake that he made in Degna 2, but here we go, he's in the slipstream. Can he try and snatch 10th place right at the line? Here we go, running towards the final chicane. Jules is going to go defensive. Yes, he does. Here we go, we're turning in AFC Guna. And where is Jules? Has he run wide? No, I think he's managed to hang on. No, he's run wide, and here comes AFC Guna, snatching 10th place there at the line. Jules will be foaming. He's so foaming, he's crashed. And that is Jules coming away with P11. But the man of the moment, well, the man of this race is Flapjack. He's absolutely loving this one. But yeah, we can confirm that Mandalorian is the champion of retro racing, and there he is right now, currently sat. I think he's just been told the news that he is the champion, and yeah, it doesn't take a genius like you, Justin, to add that one up. But here comes Flapjack. Ah, fucking hell, what a brilliant race there for Flapjack. He was under pressure for Mandalorian, but he absolutely showed his class. Claire Williams squirting all over the boys with the champagne. Oh, he's absolutely loving this, and that's the end of the race. Well, what an absolutely cracking race that was. Flapjack takes the win, takes the full 16 points. RJ Cool P2, and Mandalorian beats Lex with 14 points to 12, so that's just extended his lead. So yeah, let's now have a look at those final championship points. Actually, no, let's have a look. Yeah, Sean was the only driver to get a -1 point penalty. It was a little bit harsh, but Diesel did lose out there by running onto the gravel. So let's have a look at that final championship standings. Mandalorian wins the championship with 110 points. Closest rival is Lex with 102, and Flapjack, to say that he missed a race, he will be absolutely kicking himself that he wasn't here for the first race, because he definitely could have been in there for this championship. So there we go, Mandalorian is confirmed as champion for Season 2. And that's been an absolute, I've just got to say, it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to all the drivers for turning up. And what a race.